Welcome back, everybody, to Dan Has Fun with me, Daniel. More Bologna Baloney, Europa Universalis 4. It's been a while since I've actually done any recordings of this game. Should be fairly seamless for yourselves on the YouTube viewing public space. But for me, it has been a while. So I did have a quick look just before we got started again. And I'll kind of summarize it for you as well. We are a Protestant nation. We have a couple of neighbours in the same religion as us, but really not very. We haven't picked religious ideas, so I'm not actually that worried about the lack of spread, although I'd love our allies to get at least some, maybe give them the thought of converting. We also have a few nations that are pretty much going to hate us forever at this point. So, Savoy, Venice, Florence, and the Papal States. They're pretty much going to be in and out of coalitions against us for the rest of time until, they get disappeared. So we're just going to deal with it. In terms of our game plans, I'll turn it back to speed 3 and just let the game play for a little bit. The plan here is going to be to deal actually with Milan. So the whole reason why we can't usually go after Florence is that alliance to France. And France is massive and will promptly kick our butts. But if I go after Milan, they're allied to Florence, and I can use that to break Florence's alliance with France and make this a lot more manageable for the future, because we definitely want to expand this way. We already have Lucca, and it's in a state with all of Florence's territory, so it's definitely something we want to do. That's a mothballed navy, so that's fine. Just caught that sneeze just before I deafened your ears. Our stack of troops is going to slowly meander back. So yes, we're going to want to take on Milan. Do we have... We have one conquest CB, and that's for Parma in the Emilia-Romagna region. Oop. There we go. That's fine. All the other provinces are in a different state. So Parma really is the one that we're wanting to get a hold of right now. The others we do, but not a priority. So what we should be doing then is possibly getting some claims down here on Florence. We have some already. Is there anything else we want to get claims on off the get-go? Who else are you allied to? Memmingen, Florence, Trent. I could take Trent, but Trent's a one province minor. Are they still in the HRE? It's Diplo, isn't it? This is how you can tell it's been a while since I have played. I've forgotten. Okay, it was one of the very last one I picked. Well, it was under political. Okay. So Trent is in the Holy Roman Empire. So I don't really want to take that out because I will annoy Austria, who is my ally. And if we're not allied to the leader of the HRE as an Italian nation, we get a big old... Well, it's not actually that big a penalty. It's a penalty. I still don't want it. What's our rebellion situation like? Let that Diplo come back. Friuli with 3. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so we can move away. We don't need to sit on Venezia. I'm really, really thrilled we got a hold of it, though. Great province, 33 development, massive. Very happy. Actually going to use my diplomat that's coming back just to be, buddy up to our allies. We still have Austria, Bohemia, and Poland as allies, although Bohemia and Austria don't like one another, so we might lose... Well, if we're going to lose one, we're going to lose Bohemia. Poland doesn't really seem to have much of an opinion about... Well, they're allied to Bohemia, I guess, so they actually like Bohemia. Goes one of two ways. Usually they either love each other or Bohemia will get attacked by Poland as soon as the Emperor's weak. It really depends on the game. In this case, we're going with Buddy Buddy, which works for me. We want to keep east flank as solid as we can so that the Ottomans don't just become an absolute demolition machine that we can't cope with. Oh, and the Reformation has reached out. So Baden... If we go to our religion screen there, they are now the Reformed religion. we don't really care a huge amount about Reformed in this game. We're not going to switch from Protestant to Reformed. We've already done our religion switch. We'll be staying happily Protestant. In my opinion, Protestant is a better religion in this game anyway. And now we get the event where the price of incense falls off a cliff. We're not making incense, that's fine. We can enact a government reform. It'll be a tier 6 reform. Do we want less stability cost or do we want more diplomats? This will save us admin points in the long run. This will give us more options to kind of claim cause and buddy up to people. So I'm going to do that. That feels like something we would do. Having a third diplomat, I definitely like. We don't really have a primary target for it right now, admittedly. So I'm just gonna hang on. How many claims do we have? We have Ancona and Urbino. I don't need more on the Papal States. Maybe I'll just grab a claim on Genoa just in case we end up with the opportunity of taking Genova or Albenga or something like that. And yes, we're going to continue the cycle of every nation having their religious event, and whether they want to be nice and tolerant of the heretics, or if they want to try and set them all on fire. Probably turn up to speed 4. What's the important date for Milan, actually, before I do that? December of 1515. So just 2 in-game years away, so not far away at all. Having said that, I will get them to drill just a little bit. We're going to keep the forts up, even though we've spoken at length in previous episodes about how these are in rubbish positions. Treviso's not in a bad position. That's unfortunate. Administrative problems makes our military more expensive to maintain. Portugal is telling us about the Colombian exchange, so yeah, price of grain has dropped, but the price of livestock has gone up. I actually like, and I don't know if we've used it in this yet, if I can find it. This is pretty much the story of my life in EU4 with the map modes down here. Can I ever find the one I'm looking for? I kind of wish they were all just in one in alphabetical order. I'm looking for the trade goods ones. There it is. So when you zoom out, thank goodness it doesn't do all the little icons. But if we zoom in just a little bit, we can kind of see what our location will generally create. So there's a lot of livestock, there's a bit of paper in there, there's grapes for wine. Sienna is crystals and gems, which is pretty awesome. That's high value. A little bit of naval supplies down here. And then obviously if you get to the far south of the Italian peninsula, you get to a lot of fish and wine. We'd like, and it's not easy for any Italian start, to get a hold of a gold province. So you can see there's one here. Austria owns it. And then there's Kosovo that belongs to the Ottomans. Northern Africa doesn't have much in the way of gold. It has a gold source here, but that's not really practical for us. I'd love to get a gold supply, but I don't think we're going to get one anytime soon. You don't build like special buildings on a gold producing province. It does cause you a little bit of inflation, but you make massive bank. Well, I guess we should do that too. Let's check what our estates are doing. Neither's at 50%. Do both of them have equilibrium above 50? You better believe they do. We own 73% of the land. So in terms of our estates, we're golden. Not at war, not at war, not at war. And yes, all we have to do is bide our time. I know we have access to an idea too. How far are we from tech? Oh, the leader of Austria died. They're still the empire leader though, so that's the important thing. We're 65%, but 30 of that is caused by not having colonialism. I'm assuming, given where we are, that colonialism is still not that close to us as an option in terms of institution. Actually, no, it's spreading quicker than I thought. To be fair, it's 1514. It's had a decade and change to spread. We are slowly getting it. Whether we will have enough of it by the time... we might have it by the time we want to go for that tech. So yeah, I'm not going to get that idea yet. It is tempting, though, because it's institution spread. Okay, fine. I've talked myself into it. And we got 10% more goods produced, too. So yeah, colonialism will spread slightly quicker to us now. Luca... Ooh, there's a war. What's going on? Austria has... Oh, okay. So Austria's declared war on Hungary. Restoration of Union, CB. So, they do get an event where they can try and get Hungary as a junior partner, which for us is good and bad. So the good side of that is that it means that the Ottomans can't just eat Hungary for free, which can definitely happen, and obviously if that's the case, that's a disaster. It's kind of what they did in real life, actually. That would be terrible. On the bad side, if Austria gets too strong, we're not going to be able to deal with them. We're still going to agree to this. Who else are the war? So it's Scilly, which is a one province minor here. Munich, which is irrelevant up here. Okay, we'll accept. Yep, please stop our armies from drilling. They don't need us to do anything, though. And we're not at full manpower, so we are going to help by doing nothing, pretty much. All we're going to do is unmothball our navy, and we're going to sit it. Oh, speaking of which, are you actually trading, or are you just sitting? Okay, you are protecting the Ragusa trade node. I was hoping I didn't just forget and leave all of my trade ships in Ottoman territory for no reason. And because we are at war, we do get cheaper mercenaries. We're not going to be using mercenaries because we don't need to, but the option is there. Maybe we'll send one stack over there, why not? We'll get them over there, siege a province or two, get a little bit of war score. Maybe they'll give us some money that way. We got some of our estates built, which is fantastic. We're not going to have a chance to siege out Munich. How many troops do... Hungary have quite a lot of troops. They have 24,000 troops, nearly as many as I do, so I don't really want to mess around too much. But I will definitely... Well, once this is sieged, I can go over there, so I'll split that in two preemptively. I want to siege that out so that we can have this navy scuttled, so I don't have to worry about it. Naval traditions scorned, boo! We can just be like, we don't need naval traditions, plummet our naval tradition and get some army tradition, or we can just lose a little bit of naval tradition. But our naval tradition sucks anyway, and it can't go below 0, so we'll do that. Our army tradition at 51 is actually pretty good. Oh, and apparently our trade ships are getting involved in this too. That's fine, I don't mind, because that'll give us some positive war score. And I guess it means these guys don't have to do anything, so go back to mothballing. Save me some money. If I could see where... actually, Hungary have got their troops over. Okay, so that's fine. We can go down here and start sieging. We don't need to cost ourselves a ton of manpower, but we'll take a freebie. We got a free transport as well, speaking of which, so let's get that back, because we don't want that tied to our trade. Okay, so we have to temporarily unmothball, combine, remothball. I'm just going to claim that because we got caught with our spy. What's our naval limit at? Actually, technically that puts us one ship over, but it only costs us 0.05 gold a turn, and I think we can handle it. I'm stockpiling gold just so I can afford to embrace the institution as soon as I can. Okay. So we're helping a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of sieging. I'd like to get some money and some trust and favours, really, from Austria, so we do want to do something. What's our inflation look like? It's going down, so let's get that invested. We want to take full advantage, get some more Diplo points. We're actually near our limit, so we should check on that in a second. We don't need to do that. My prestige is fine. How close are we? We should invest some of our Diplo points in something. Development by production, because that's Diplo. Still got 15% autonomy, but it's still saying it's the most efficient, so let's pump 3. No, I can only do 2 because of the total of the other 2. So that's up to 17. We don't really have any other really wild numbers, so we're going to take 2 into there, so that Venice can be 35 development. It's producing glass, which is pretty good. It's not amazing, but, you know, glass worth 3 gold of production, so, well, per unit anyway. So there's no kick in the teeth. Oh, let's have a stretch just while we're not having to do a huge amount. Oh, that's nice. Always got to remember to stretch. During this weekend, I've been helping one of my kids move house to an apartment of their own, and makes you realize, first of all, how out of shape you are, because it shouldn't be that difficult to lift up a few heavy items. But it also makes you remember that I moved from the UK to Canada, and it was a lot of work, and I never want to move ever again if I can get away with it. It's so much work. Weekends just flown by, and, well, put it this way, not going to have a huge amount of time to do any recording. I haven't had much time to do anything. Oh well, it's nearly done at this point. Just got to get a TV over there from our basement and a computer and a desk, and she'll be golden. We don't need that one. We can ignore the monthly war exhaustion idea. We do not need it at the moment. How many times have you guys watching had to move house? Hopefully it was just one of those ones where you move with your parents and your parents do all the legwork. So you didn't have to really do anything. Boy, oh boy, moving when you're a kid, it's just like, oh, put your 6 toys and a console in a box. And you're like, oh my god, it's so much work. And then as an adult, you're like, well, I'm gonna move house, so get preparing for 3 weeks at a time. Ugh. I don't think I realized either just how expensive it is to help furnish a property for a person who doesn't own any of the basics. When you go into a store and it's like, you know, $10 for a toilet brush. It's like, ugh. I don't want to spend $10 on something like that. Maybe I'm just super cheap. Yeah, it definitely adds up, because you think, hey, just for a small kitchenette alone, you got to have a set of cutlery. You're going to have at least plates and bowls for maybe 3 or 4 people. Mugs. You have to get a microwave. Kettle, or like coffee drink, you know, coffee machine or something like that. Luckily, you didn't have to buy a fridge or anything. But it really does add up super duper quickly. We're at 77 Republican tradition, but I don't need the points either right now. No, I'm still going to sacrifice the Republican tradition for now. I don't think either of those options is massively better than the other, but I don't want to burn that right now. We could invest. So if we go for the ahead of time military tech, it will cost us a lot of points, but it would give us 6 innovativeness. We can wait until the start of the following year, though, and save some points and still get that benefit. Okay, so Silly was acting dumb and is now out of the war. Oh, Bohemia wants to do knowledge sharing. I will absolutely do that. It's going to cost me 4 gold a turn, per month. But it's definitely worth doing. Oh, Florence has turned into Tuscany. It must be at admin level 10. Yep, they are. They're behind us in military tech, but they're actually ahead of us in the other techs. Alright. So that's another siege down. That one's more dangerous because it's in a mountain, but I'm not that worried. Hungary seems to be busy dealing with Moldavia. And we were just raided by Tunis. Rude of them, but not a big deal, honestly. Just more rude than anything else. Okay, so now we're in January of 1516. We could deal with Milan as soon as this war ends. So that's what we're going to do. Actually, just out of curiosity, so we have 47 favors, 42, and 33. Now, because I'm at war, this is going to be a... Okay, so Bohemia and Austria would jump in. Actually, the funny thing is they would jump in even if they're in the war right now. Poland won't because they're pretty severely in debt. Not really for a nation that size, but that's quite a lot of money. I'm not going to do this until this is over. But yeah, Bohemia and Austria together are more than enough to deal with that. So let me get rid of that idle diplomat. We do have a ton of favors, so we're going to... Well, first of all, let's get the royal marriage done. Oh, make sure we get the tech. So we have military tech level 10, so that gives us better horses and cannons. I don't see really any hostile units that close to us. There's 8.4k there, but I'm not worried about them. So that we can do upgrades. We're going to go for I don't have any idea how to pronounce that. So Black Riders. And let's switch. Do we want Pedreros or Culverins? It doesn't matter. They're worth the same amount of points. Let's go with a Culverin. And we want to... How many... Okay, we have 42 favors with Bohemia, so we're going to use some trust to do that. Oh, apparently somebody got a free ship. Was it me again? It was. I got another free ship. Ottomans, get out of my face. Send that over as well. Again, we're going to be over our limit on ships, but the cost going over this is so small, it's negligible. We probably do want to let them get back to full strength now, though, because we want to then end up trying to blockade Tuscany. Although they have 20 ships, they're going to be quite dangerous. Anyway, let's finish off this war with Hungary first. That wasn't even ours, but is pretty much done at this point. Yeah, Poland is beating up Hungary over there, which works for me. Don't want Austria's manpower to fall off a cliff while this is going on. They still have tons, 53k. I'm going to trade some favors for trust. I'm going to trade some more favors for trust with Bohemia because we have spares. And then we're going to wait. Leave our Diplo hanging. Taking a long old time sieging this out. It's on a mountain, so it does make each roll slower. But I'm surprised how long it's taken. It's only a level 2 fort. We have a 2 bonus from having at least 4 artillery with us. Oh, our diplomat died. We do have another diplomat available. And they're only 30. That's actually fantastic. I forgot how good our Doge was, too. He's going to have to get re-elected in about 5 game years' time, which is sad. Can we please finish this war? Please. I assume the holdout here is the fact that they haven't got either of Munich. Fort locations siege. Okay. So we're going to move our units back. Because we need to be ready to deal with the war with Milan. Importing iron. So we can get 60 military power. And have Trent like us a bit more, or we can just get mercantilism. We're just going to grab mercantilism. We don't need the extra military points right now. We're ahead on tech. to the point where right now it would be 200% more to get level 11 military tech. Clearly we're not doing that. That unification is finally over. Munich is giving a province to Austria. We're getting 33 ducats, which is not exactly a lot of money. We got a little bit of prestige. We got 12 favors too. Okay, so that works for me. All right, so it might... No, we're going to wait for... I was going to say we might declare war immediately, but I am going to wait. That's a great deal. To get a court painter who is available. 122 ducats for 10 prestige and stability. You better believe I'm hiring that guy. I don't even care if he draws boobs on the church. He can draw whatever he wants. Okay, well that's a problem. So, the Restoration of Union is not immune to aggressive expansion. And Austria has upset everybody. So what we do want to do is we want to declare war on Milan now, because otherwise what will happen is Bohemia will join against Austria, and Bohemia won't be able to attack Austria for coalition fires if they're in the same war together. So we want to do that immediately. Even though I'm out of position, we want to do that now. And I want to make Parma the war goal, because once I take it, it'll be harder for them to get it back. So that's a go. We can't move our navy out yet, it's not fully healed. How many troops does Milan have? 14. They only have 12, so I'm actually going to go rag on Tuscany first. Because they have less troops and worse troops. So we need to go now. We're going to use our diplomat in the time being for threatening countries. Because I don't want another war happening on top of me. Oh, and they ran away. That's rude. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of people against Austria. That is not good for us. But we couldn't stop them from winning the Restoration of the Union CB. Just wasn't happening. We're going to steal our Admiral. I might even have to steal the 16 stack themselves that are trading for blockading purposes, but we'll see. They've all gone towards Austrian territory, so I'm just going to let them do it. And the stack that's coming back is going to start sieging out Florence. Or Firenze. And it's not Florence anymore, it's Tuscany. It's like how, you know, the British took a really long time to call Iran Iran and not Persia. We're just really bad at name tag changes, I guess. I don't want... And let's make sure that... Okay, both of my stacks don't have the request to attach units. Because I want Austria to do its own thing. If they siege out Trent, we're not giving Trent to them. I don't really want to take Trent myself right now. Just because the way it works in terms of which state it belongs to. So it's in the Tyrol state. Which not only is a state I don't have any provinces in, but all the rest belong to Austria. It is Venetian culture, which isn't that bad, but everything else is also Austrian culture too, so. Oh boy, that list in the coalition. If Poland doesn't come to the aid of Austria, we're going to be in pain, because we're going to get clubbed as well. That's why we need this to happen now. I need to break the alliance between Tuscany and France. This has to get set up, but we are living dangerously. If you're thinking of the Ralph Wiggum chuckles I'm in danger meme from The Simpsons, you are correct, my friends. Because we definitely are. We are living... We're living on the edge. We can get level 10 tech for admin or diplo, but we're not going to do it yet. Our navy's under attack, but it's by... Okay, by a significantly weaker navy. They do have 7 galleys coming. Where is our... We'll have our trade ships come over. Because we are slightly outnumbered, but they don't have an admiral right now. Oh, they Just detached. Okay. Alrighty then. So we're just going to go back to protecting trade. We're not doing Alexandria, it's too dangerous, so we're just going to go back to the Ragusan trade node. We can, rather conveniently, just park in Siena because it's been sieged. So that's exactly what we're going to do to heal. Because we didn't lose any ships, which is absolutely awesome. They do have 17 more ships there. Parma is sieged, which is fantastic. I don't see them not giving any of these provinces to us, which is nice as well. So we're going to split, actually. Do half there, half there. Wow, people are still entering the coalition against Austria. Pretty terrifying. We're going to split and split. They will probably sit on a bruisey, which I don't really care about. We'll just wander over there afterwards and deal with that. Honestly, I can probably split this in half and do the same thing. Split. Split. Oh, Iraq got a province and just by buying it outright. Good for them. Are they going to have an ally with any coastline other than France? I don't think they are. So, when they lose their naval battle, presumably they'll go over here. Right? Oh, they could technically... Maybe they'll be able to get in with Provence, because we are technically at war with them as well. Do we have a route through to Provence? We do, okay. And we're going to go there as two separate stacks to reduce attrition a little bit. Okay, so they will now have to get out of there. My navy's pretty much perfect, so we'll go out there and face them. And then we're just going to go and bop that. I wonder if Provence will bring its navy in. I hope not, but if they do, we will then be getting out of dodge. Doesn't look like they are. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. And yeah, they lost 3 more galleys. I didn't lose anything, so I'm just going to run back to Pisa. Yeah, I'm guessing they're coming over here. Which I'm okay with. How many troops does Provence have? Actually, they have quite a lot. So I'm probably going to have to take my second stack over there. The coalition hasn't fired yet on Austria, thank goodness. This is where all of the opponent's units are. Actually, I should probably go and try and take... I have to be careful with Trent, because if I attack it on Trent, I'm the attacker and I'll get the penalty. But if I can get over... It's going to be a little bit of a roundabout, but if I end up being on... Does this have a... Yeah, it does. So, Etch-Chatal has a fort, but they are the attacker in that case. Okay, they know what I'm doing and they're running away. Fine. Then I'm going to sit here, and then when Austria is done with that siege, we'll deal with this Milanese stack. Apparently, I'm having a real hard time talking today. Great. Great for, you know, a person doing YouTube things. Having a hard time talking. It's not like it's an important task or trait or anything. Yeah, they're just sitting in Venetian land, which I am perfectly okay with. Nobody wants to come and attack me, because I have fantastic military tech. What do they have? 10, 9, 9. Yeah, they're all unable to put a candle to me. And if Bohemia wants to come over here and help me deal with these guys, that'll work for me. I guess we'll go help. They are on a hill, which means that they will be the attacker. I'm hoping somebody will come and help, but we were just sitting there doing nothing anyway, so. We have better better stats, but they have better, like, actual troop numbers, but we have better stats by a mile. So we have nearly 50% better tactics and slightly better morale. They also have too many cavalry, so they're occasionally getting a penalty. And yeah, we're shredding them, is what is happening there. We lost just over 2,000 troops. They lost about 10,000 troops. Oh, please don't do the stupid thing. I'm hoping nobody attacks them on that stack. Yeah, I'm hoping Bohemia changes their mind. We don't want to attack them there. Actually, they're attritioning themselves by sitting on that. They're doing 1.7% attrition to themselves. Tuscany will actually get out, so I guess we might as well. Let's get our diplomat back from... Oh, we can get the institution too. That's awesome. We'll deal with that after the war. Can you even... Yeah, you can embrace during the war. That's weird. There's a lot of things you can't do during the war, so embracing an institution seems to be a weird thing that you can. Okay. Just out of curiosity, what was their deal? They'll give me a province. They would not break their alliance with France, though. So this is not going to work for me, so I'm going to do our own. So our number one priority, a null agreement with France. That is absolutely mandatory. We could get them to release nations, but that doesn't really do anything for us. If we pillage them, we get 9 aggressive expansion. Wow, Firenze's 100% war score. That is an expensive trade. And it would give us 52 aggressive expansion. So as much as I would love to do that, that is not what we're doing. I am tempted to take Pisa off them, though. Ideally, I'd do this, actually, and make them landlocked, but that's 80 aggressive expansion, so we're not doing that. Why is there so much aggressive expansion? These must be really good provinces, are they? What are we? Yeah, 23, 23, 31 with the Santa Maria del Fiore. Which... pretty good. I mean, 16 is the weakest development province they have. That doesn't really change a huge amount, though, does it, when I'm thinking about it? So that 40 aggressive expansion. Venice is already in the range for a coalition. Tuscany pretty much is going to be all the time anyway. The Papal States already is. Genoa isn't, but is pretty close. Savoy in the same boat. And I don't care what Trent does. So I am going to take Pisa. We're going to humiliate them as well. We could. But I'm going to get some power projection anyway, just by taking provinces off them. So I'm going to take their money instead. How much will we get? About half? Okay, I'm fine with that then. And that will mean that they cannot go into a coalition against us for a very long time, for 15 years. So that's what we're going to do. So, just to confirm, they're going to give us a province, war reps, no more alliance with France, and some money. Beautiful. We are definitely going to start coring that immediately, because that is a great province. Fantastic province. And it's got a natural harbour. There's so many good things going for this. Wine is not the most fantastic of resources to have. Well, Alright, that's fine. That's actually a really good outcome. Really positive. I guess we'll go sit over here at Toulon to increase the speed of that siege now, that we don't have to worry about anything on that front. And we don't have to worry about Tuscany. Not that they had any troops, but now I don't have to worry about it. Our southern flank is safe. Let's get that on Genoa so we don't forget. Actually, we have so much spy development against them, we might as well do that as well. Make a claim on both provinces. Not that we expect to take them anytime soon, but it's nice to have the claim. Where are they planning on going? Oh. Oh, Aragon got eaten by Spain. Okay, so we actually have a Spain now. They must be level 10 admin as well. I still... They hate us, and even with a plus 20, they're going to hate us. So we're just going to take the mercantilism. Yeah, Spain's going to be scary. Corruption's going up, but that's fine. That's just being caused by the overextension. Yeah, they still haven't really done anything. They're trying to tempt me into attacking them on the hill here, and I'm not interested. Oh. Well, that's interesting. So Spain forced Milan to break their alliance with Tuscany. They're probably going to attack Tuscany, which means we're going to have Spain right on our borders, which is a terrifying prospect. That's why I would quite like to take Siena, but the aggressive expansion, given we're going to be taking some of Milan as well, just untenable. We're not big enough to just curb stomp the game. And we will not be for quite a long time. Wishful, wishful. Okay, now there might be an actual fight going on. Yeah, Austria's committed to it, so I guess we'll go help them. Oh wow, that is a curb stomping because most of them have run away. Yeah, here we go. Ooh. I forgot I was Defender of the Faith. That's not so good anymore, is it? Okay. So, Tuscany is being attacked by Spain. We expect, you know, we saw that coming. They're allied to Portugal and Venice. And Naples would help them as well, because they're in the partnership. I don't want to say yes to this. The problem is saying no, Tuscany will hate us, who cares? But the trust of all Protestant countries changes by -15. And we get a Diplo rep penalty. But Spain has 71,000 troops. So we have to say no. It hurts, but we have to say no. We also lose Defender of the Faith by doing that. But that's not a problem for us. That's something we can willingly accept. The trust penalty across the board is not exactly great, but what are you going to do? I'm now going to say allow attack because I want to go deal with this stack. If I can get them before they leave, that would be perfect. And it looks like we're going to get at least the Milanese stack. I guess they don't have really anywhere else to go, so they haven't tried to flee. Oh, and Provence came back to help. So we get to mash them both at the same time. We definitely want to do a fresh royal marriage with Bohemia. There we go. And again, that was a massacre. How is this siege still going on at 0%? Why is this taking so long? I'm tempted to use military points to... Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to break this open. Because I'm getting attrition like Billy-O. I guess that was the one downside of breaking Tuscany's alliance with France. I still think it was the right thing to do. It's just unfortunate. And I guess now we'll go on the mountain. I think we'll be safe at this point because we outnumber them so much. Hit the admin points. Yeah, there we go. Alright. We lost quite a lot of troops. I'm going to say you don't have to attach to me anymore. I'm just going to bring this... Who else is at war with us? It's Memmingen, so they're being sieged out. We're going to go over here to the other part of Provence then. Provence is actually fairly big still. It has a province over here in Anjou. We have the typical provinces they have over here, and they still have the bit in the Burgundian side of the HRE. Pretty good. Oh wow, look at the time. This episode's really been flying along. So I'm going to put a cut in here, and we will finish this war off next time. Appreciate you guys hanging around till the end. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let me know what you felt. Give a like if you want to. Take care. Have a good one. Bye now. Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.